Welcome back, everybody, to Magnolia on Money, where we discuss everything financial from the economy to retirement. I'm Ed Cox with Magnolia Wealth, and today I wanted to talk about inflation. We got some really good news Wednesday on inflation, so I thought I'd share that with you today. Tell you what that may mean moving forward with the Federal Reserve's decisions that they're going to be making the rest of this year. And so let's dive in, and I got a few graphs that'll help you understand what we're talking about as we move through this. All right, so the first graph here, inflation, you can see this is going back to 1965. A lot of you may remember the 80s and kind of what was going on with inflation then. And then we pretty much had a downward trajectory of inflation, going all the way to 2000. And then, of course, we had a pretty good spike in inflation, and here we are today. In June, inflation cooled really sharply in June. So that's good news for the consumers and the Fed. So inflation data that was released Wednesday showed pretty pronounced cooling of inflation, and really some of the best and hopeful news since the Federal Reserve began trying to tame the rapid, price increases, 16 months ago. So this is really what we've been waiting to see. Is some of these sharp cooling down of inflation. And so that came as really good news this Wednesday. Let's move over and see what's factoring into this inflation reducing. So inflation is kind of slowing across a range of products and services. If you look here, this was the height. And you can see that service, food, goods, and service, and energy are how this is broken down. And you can see where here during our peak inflation, energy costs were really high, which caused food costs to be high. Our foods and goods were high, and then also service was high there as well. We started seeing some of that decrease. We saw our good prices come down as the COVID pandemic and all of the supply chain issues started to get rectified, along with the energy cost. So while falling gas prices have been, a particularly big drag on overall inflation, which has helped, we're also seeing, long-awaited decline in service prices, and that's, excluding the energy. So it looks like what the Fed is doing is now starting to pay off. We're starting to see some of the results of these higher interest rates, and hopefully that will continually be the trend, and the Fed will not have to continually raise interest rates moving forward. I'm not sure that this is enough to stop them from increasing rates at the next meeting. But if we can continue on this trajectory and keep inflation trending down, I'm not sure that after that point we'll see any more. We'll have to wait and see after the next meeting, but I think this is really good news. It's really, really good to see that things have started to trend in the right direction. And, we'll have to just wait and see what the Fed does. But I think maybe one more. I really don't think they'll stop the raise that they've kind of already put in motion and talked a lot about at the next meeting. But moving forward from there, I think we may be out of the interest rate hike phase. So we'll have to wait and see. Y'all have a great week. God bless. We'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.